Hi everybody, thanks for coming. I'm Marlene and I'm the director of the Herbal Academy of New England, and I have with me today Annie, who is the assistant director. And today we're going to talk about tincturing. And I know you've been reading a lot about tincturing, and we're going to show you how to do it today. So Annie, let's tell them a little bit about what we need to tincture.
Sure. So you're going to need some very strong alcohol, either brandy, gin, or vodka. And you're going to want to make sure that it's between 80 and 100 proof. And the reasons for that are that it's a very strong preservative for the herb, and it extends shelf life. It also extracts constituents that otherwise would not be available, like resins, alkaloids, and waxes. Those just aren't extracted in water. And it also kind of enhances absorption of the medicinal properties in the body. It absorbs almost instantly into the bloodstream.
Yeah.
So it's very helpful for people with absorption problems and things like that.
And so what you want to make sure you're using as well is a good quality herb. And you want to get to know the people that you're ordering from. And if you're growing herbs, even better. You know that you have a very fresh, wonderful herb that you've grown yourself. And when you do use a fresh herb in tincturing, you want to use just a little more alcohol, because those plants have moisture and they've retained their moisture. So you want to add just a little bit more. The reason being is you don't want mold to set into the herb at all. That would certainly ruin the tincture. I think we'll get started.
Yeah.
All right.
So we have some lemon balm in a jar.
And we filled it just not quite 3/4 full, but you can see it's about 3/4 full. And Annie, would you like to add the alcohol?
Sure. Lemon balm is one of my favorite herbs.
It's such a wonderful, uplifting nervine. And you know, this is also an herb that you might want to use in a tea. It just has a lovely, lovely flavor, and it's part of the mint family.
So I filled the bottle almost to the top, and you can see the herbs are already starting to absorb that liquid. So we'll go ahead and top it off. You want to leave a little bit of room at the top to shake it.
But you do want to go in and make sure that all of the herb is covered with the alcohol. And I think we've got that here, Annie.
Looks good.
So, all right. All right, I want to explain that we're going to cover the top of the jar with a natural wax paper. And Annie, do you want to explain why we're putting the wax paper on the jar?
Sure. Unfortunately, these lids are coated with bisphenol A, which is an endocrine disruptor, and it's kind of counterproductive to our purposes in making medicine. So we want to protect the solvent from getting any of that chemical in there, because it will just, the alcohol is so strong, it'll draw the EPA right off the lid into your
reach
product.
right into the tincture, and you don't want that. But as you can see, it's already beginning to color, and the beautiful herb is, the properties are being extracted with the alcohol addition. So now what we want to do with this is place it in a dark place, in a dark cupboard or a closet for 4 to 6 weeks, depending on what you've tinctured. But most people use about 6 weeks.
Right.
Okay, and then during that time you want to go in and you're going to nurse the tincture. You're going to shake it every day just to make sure that you keep the herb moving and that everything's covered. And what some people like to do at this point is just to give it a good intention. Just remember that this is medicine and you're making it with your own hands, so you might want to just add your own special thoughts.
Your own blessing or intention.
Yeah, exactly. So then we have
one. It's been sitting out for a while. So we'll just open that up.
Yep. And so this is an herb. This is lemon balm as well. This is a tincture that Annie and I set up about 6 weeks ago, and we've gone in and made sure that it was doing well all through the 6 weeks. And now what we're going to do is decant it. So we're placing cheesecloth, and here we have natural cheesecloth, over our strainer. And Annie, do you want to go ahead and pour the tincture in? Sure. There you go, beautiful. Perfect. And so you're just going to gather up the corners of your cheesecloth, and you want to pull that right out of the strainer, and you'll see that it's already dripping, and you just want to give it a real good squeeze. You want to make sure that you get all the tincture.
Absolutely. You don't want to waste a drop of it.
And by using the cheesecloth, you don't have to. You could actually just put your herb right into the strainer. But with the cheesecloth, you're really getting most of the tincture. You're not really wasting any. And this is really a wonderful method. I know that some people use an herb press. And there are many different models. And, you know, there's big ones and small ones. Many ways of doing this, but I actually like getting my hands in there. I enjoy this. I think that makes a difference. I'm touching the herb in it. So that seems pretty dry, Annie. What would you do with the leftover mark?
I would just toss this whole thing right in my compost bin.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. That's great. Okay, so here we have it. Our tincture is in the bowl. Now I'm going to remove the strainer from the bowl. And that's quite a lot of tincture. Annie, do you buy these from the health food store or from your...
Sometimes I order them from someplace like Mountain Rose Herbs, or I often just save mine from tinctures that I might buy in the store.
Oh, that's a great idea.
And reuse them.
That's a great idea. So when you make this yourself, and I know that I've spent, you know, $12, maybe $15 on a little bottle of tincture, and sometimes you're going to do that because you won't have the herbs available.
Right.
But when you do and you can make it yourself, go ahead and do that. So what we do at this point, we have a bowl full of tincture. We're going to now put it into our bottles. And Annie, do you want to try to pour that right in here?
Sure.
These are really handy, so you'll definitely want to get yourself a funnel. And once you've done this a few times, you will know exactly how much to pour. But Annie,
it's a little too much.
Annie's pouring a little on me. But let me take a look. Oh, we could just put a little bit more in there. Perfect. I can tell you poured it. Okay, so there we have it. And something very important you want to remember when you're tincturing is to label. And everyone always says label, label, label. So you want to put the date that the tincture was made, and also what it is. And I know a wonderful way of keeping herbs, at least the way I keep mine, is I alphabetize them.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah, so how do you keep yours?
Oh, they're just sort of in a jumble in my cabinet.
So if you put them in alphabetical order, you can find them quite easily. Okay, so Annie and I are going to be here for a while, filling our little brown bottles with tincture and filling our apothecaries at the same time. But I want to say at this time that we've had a wonderful, wonderful experience putting the course together and doing these little videos. And we have to say goodbye. This is our last video. Annie, what would you like to say?
I just want to say thank you to everyone for joining us, and I hope you have a great herbal adventure in your future, and please share with us your experience making these tinctures. We'd love to know how it turned out for you.
Yeah, so that's a wrap for us.
And that's a wrap.
That's a wrap. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Hi everybody, welcome and thank you for coming. Today we're going to be talking about tincturing. I'm Marlene, the director of Herbal Academy.
Balm today, and I personally am a big fan of lemon balm.
Very... terrifying. And so let's just put this one over here, Annie, and let's show them a tincture that we made 6 weeks ago. And actually, I faithfully came in and I shook it, and
we need more, do you think?
I think we do.
Yeah.
So
I will get some. I'll be right back.
and make sure that they're nice and moist. And now this is going to be a lovely tincture. Hurry in a brown bottle and out of the sunlight, and it's
That might be way too much.
and look at this.
Looks great.
Quite a lot of tincture.
So much.
So much.
So what would you do with this after?
So, well, what I would do is, depending on large amount.
I guess we can get started, right?
Mm-hmm.
Anything else you
I
want to
think we
add?
should just start in the beginning, though.